In this video, I will discuss how we can perform list comparisons and the need for list comprehension in Python. And what I'll do is I'll first walk through a list comparison example, and then I'll use that example as a means to underline why computer programmers find list comprehension so valuable in Python. And so to begin with, let's say we had two lists of integers, and what we want to do is find how these two lists of integers overlap, and we want to print the overlaps, but in addition to that we want to exclude the duplicates, and so that's where it gets a little bit tricky. And so what we're going to do in this example is we're going to first define another list called C, and then we're going to run a for loop saying for each element I in the list A, and then we're going to perform a nested for loop for J in B if element I is the same as element J, and then we're going to have an additional if statement if I not in C, then we can append that element into our answer matrix C. And we can also make I J because they would be the same. And just to walk through this code, so we're using nested for loops to iterate through both of these lists. We perform a comparison to see if the elements are the same. And if the elements are the same, we then check if the element is already in our answer list C, and if it is not, then we add it into our answer list C. And finally what we do is we will print out the elements that are in common between these two matrices. So what we're going to do is declare yet another for loop for K in C, print K. And so what will happen is after we run this code, we'll see that we in fact did find all of the commonalities between these two lists, the common integers. And so what you'll note here is that this took up several lines of code, and to a computer programmer that's a problem, because we want to have condensed code that runs very efficiently, and this is why there's a need for a term referred to as list comprehension in Matlab. And so what we can do is we're going to define a list comprehension, which is a one-line piece of code that will do exactly the same thing we had just done. And so the way it works is pretty slick. So we are going to define a new list called C. We are going to have our open and closed square brackets. And what we're going to say is that C will have stored into it element I for I in set A, for J in B, if I equals J. And so in this one line, we just accomplished everything we had done in the past 5 or 6 lines in Python. And so what this does is calling set A excludes the duplicates. We see the nested for loops that we had previously. And finally, what we can do is we can just say print C. And so now if we run this code again, we will see the same result that we had previously. And everything that we need has been, or wanted, has been stored successfully. And so this wraps up list comparisons and list comprehension that is available in Python. I hope you guys find this useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.